Picture this: Friday afternoon at a growing company here in North Texas. The bookkeeper gets an email that looks exactly like it came from a trusted vendor. New banking details, wire this week's payment to the new account. She does it. It all looks legitimate. And by Monday, that money is gone, sitting in an account overseas, and it's never coming back.
And here's the gut punch. That owner probably thought they were covered. A business policy, property coverage, maybe even cyber. But when they filed the claim, they learned the hard way that money walking out the door because somebody got tricked is a whole different animal. Welcome to Insurance Talk Texas, brought to you by Schell Insurance. Today, commercial crime insurance, and this one keeps Texas business owners up at night.
It absolutely should, because the numbers are staggering. In the FBI's latest crime report, Texas ranked number 2 in the country, behind only California, for both victims and total losses. Number 2. And where does it hit hardest in our state? The Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, because that's where the businesses are.
Which is exactly why the team at Schell Insurance sees this constantly across Collin and Denton County. Frisco, McKinney, Plano, Prosper, Allen, booming business communities, and that growth makes them targets. What is commercial crime insurance, and why doesn't a normal business policy handle it?
Great place to start. Commercial crime insurance protects your business from direct financial loss caused by crime, theft, forgery, fraud, and the big one these days, funds transfer fraud. And it splits into 2 categories, inside threats and outside threats.
Let's take inside first, because this surprises people. Employee dishonesty, embezzlement, the trusted bookkeeper quietly skimming for years, the office manager cutting checks to a fake vendor they set up. And I know what people are thinking. Not my people. I trust my team.
Right, and that trust is exactly what makes it possible. The examiners who study this found the typical organization loses around 5% of its revenue to fraud every year, and the median case runs well into 6 figures before it's caught. And here's the part that stings. The smaller the business, the harder it hits. Fewer eyes on the books.
So important, and it's why the folks at Schell Insurance always say the businesses that think they're too small to be a target are often the most exposed. Okay, that's the inside threats. Now the outside threats, and this is where that Friday afternoon story comes roaring back.
This is the world of forgery, computer fraud, and social engineering. And social engineering is just a fancy term for a simple crime, tricking a human being into sending money. The criminal impersonates an executive or a vendor and creates urgency. Wire it now, the deal depends on it. And they've done their homework. They know the names and the projects.
And the FBI has a name for it, business email compromise, one of the largest sources of fraud loss in the country. What makes it so brutal is that once that wire goes out, you've got maybe a day or 2 before the money is untraceable. No malware, no virus, just a convincing email and a busy employee.
So here's the question everybody asks. I've got a business policy. Doesn't that cover me? And here we have to be clear, because the answer is almost always no, or nowhere near enough. Your standard business owner's policy might toss in a little crime coverage, but it's a token amount, nowhere close to what a real loss looks like.
And this is exactly the conversation to have with an independent agency like Schell Insurance, because they can compare what you actually have versus what you think you have. You can reach them at 972-423-4546. That gap between the token coverage in your policy and a real crime policy is where businesses get wiped out.
Now, the piece that trips up even savvy owners. A lot of folks say, well, I bought cyber insurance, so I'm protected. There's a real overlap, but a critical distinction. Cyber insurance is about the data, the breach, the notification, restoring your systems. Crime insurance is about the money walking out the door.
And that distinction matters enormously with social engineering, because a lot of cyber policies include it, but with a much smaller sublimit inside. So you might carry solid cyber coverage overall, but only a fraction available for the exact scam most likely to hit you. This is exactly why you want Schell Insurance reviewing the fine print.
Exactly. And often the smarter structure is a dedicated crime policy with a social engineering endorsement, because that gives you a higher dedicated limit for that risk. But you have to ask for it, because the standard crime form doesn't include it automatically. This is not a set it and forget it situation.
And here's a callback for our longtime listeners. Remember our fiduciary liability episode? If your business offers a retirement plan, federal law requires an ERISA fidelity bond to protect those plan assets from theft, and that can often be built right into your crime coverage.
It really does, and that's the value of working with people who see the whole board. So what should a Texas business owner do? Step 1, stop assuming. Let a professional pull your policy apart and show you exactly where you stand on crime and social engineering coverage.
And that's what the team at Schell Insurance does every day across North Texas. They'll look at your controls, your exposure, your payment processes, and build coverage that matches your real risk, not a one-size-fits-all template. You can call them directly at 972-423-4546.
And pair that coverage with good habits. A simple rule: any change to banking details or wire request gets verified by phone to a known number, not the number in the email. That one habit stops a huge share of these scams cold. Insurance is your safety net. Prevention is your first line of defense.
Beautifully said. So if you're a business owner anywhere in Frisco, McKinney, Plano, Prosper, Allen, or the greater Collin and Denton County area, and you're not totally sure your crime coverage is where it needs to be, make the call. Reach Schell Insurance at 972-423-4546 or head to schellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com.
Don't wait until you're staring at a wire confirmation for money that isn't coming back. Get in front of it. Visit schellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. And let their team make sure you're protected from the inside out.
That's all for today's episode of Insurance Talk Texas. Protect what you've built, ask the hard questions, and we'll see you next time. Stay covered, North Texas.